The desert world of Corin 5 stretched endlessly beneath twin suns, its ochre sands shifting like liquid with every gust of wind. The alien warrior, Lyra, stood on the crest of a rocky plateau, her 4 eyes scanning the horizon. She was a master of combat, trained from hatchling to hunt across the stars. Her species, the Vrylan, were known for their strength, speed, and tactical brilliance. Few dared challenge them, and even fewer survived. Lyra had been sent to Corin 5 to eliminate a Astonished human operative who had been disrupting Vrylan supply lines. The humans were considered primitive, fragile, and laughably weak. She remembered the words of her commander. They are clever, yes, but nothing can match Vrylan's skill. You will end this quickly. She crouched low, sensing vibrations in the sand beneath her limbs. The human was somewhere out there, and she was confident it would be just another routine hunt. Her mind drifted to thoughts of victory, imagining the praise she would receive upon returning to the capital. Then she saw him. He emerged from a canyon, his posture calm but unyielding. He carried no visible weapons except a small staff strapped across his back, yet his presence seemed to push against the harsh sunlight itself. His eyes, sharp and unafraid, met hers, and for a moment the desert seemed to hold its breath. Lyra approached, each step precise, her claws sinking slightly into the warm sand. She expected fear, panic, and perhaps a futile attempt at escape. Instead, the human raised a hand, almost in greeting, and simply said, "I won't run." Her mandibles clicked in irritation. "You will not survive this, human." "I've faced worse," he replied. The air between them crackled with tension. Lyra lunged first, a blur of motion that would have felled any other creature. She struck with all her strength, aiming for the human side. Yet he twisted effortlessly, landing on his feet behind her. She turned, ready for a second strike, only to find him standing there, calm as if he had anticipated her every move. Confusion prickled at the edge of her mind. The humans were supposed to be weak. This one moved faster than any prey she had ever hunted. Faster than her own kin, in fact. They clashed again and again. Her claws met his staff, the impact sending vibrations up her arms. He deflected, ducked, and countered with precision that seemed impossible. Lyra had faced countless warriors across the galaxy, but never one who could anticipate her moves so perfectly. "You are skilled," she admitted through gritted teeth. "You fight well, too," he said, dodging a swipe aimed at his legs. "But strength isn't everything." She narrowed her eyes. His words were strange, almost naive, yet there was a quiet confidence that unsettled her. The battle continued through the rocky canyon, their movements a blur to anyone watching from afar. Lyra used every technique she had learned since she was young. She adapted, she feinted, she tried to outthink him, but every time he was a step ahead. Hours passed, or perhaps only minutes. Time seemed irrelevant when every motion demanded complete focus. Finally, they paused, facing each other across a flat expanse of sand, both breathing heavily. Lyra's 4 eyes reflected the human's calm determination. "How?" she began, unable to finish. "I study my opponent," he said simply. "I watch, I learn, I adapt." It was a simple answer, yet profound. The idea that a fragile human could compete with a Vrylan warrior using only observation and quick thinking was almost laughable, yet undeniable. You survived because you are clever," Lyra admitted, "not because you are strong." He smiled faintly. Strength alone is not victory. They circled each other warily, each sensing the other's skill and intelligence. Lyra had faced beings with greater physical power, but none who combined cunning, patience, and unpredictability like this human. Every encounter, every strike, had taught her something new about him, and something new about her own assumptions. Finally, she lowered her claws slightly. "I underestimated you." "And I never underestimated you," he replied. There was a moment of silence, a pause in the storm of combat that had dominated their day. Lyra realized that the human did not carry weapons of mass destruction, nor did he rely solely on brute force. He had used observation, strategy, and timing, the very principles her people valued above all else, but executed them with an ease that shocked her. "You are different," she said. "Perhaps we are not so different after all," he said, and for the first time she considered the possibility that strength was not merely measured in muscle or claws. The sun began to dip toward the horizon, casting long shadows over the desert. Lyra felt an unfamiliar sensation, a mixture of respect and curiosity. She had faced warriors before, but never had an opponent challenge not just her body, but her mind. "You could have fled," she said softly. "I could have," he replied. "But running is not the way to learn. To survive, I needed to face you, to understand you." Her mandibles clicked softly, a sound she had learned to use to express emotion. Perhaps it was admiration. Perhaps it was disbelief. The truth was, she did not fully understand this human, yet she knew he had changed something within her. "Do you always fight like this?" she asked. "Only when it matters," he said. "And you? Fight like no one I've ever seen?" "I came here expecting an easy mission, and instead I found a teacher." Lyra hesitated. The words puzzled her, but the meaning was clear. In their battle, she had discovered that the human's resilience, intelligence, and courage were a force she had never considered. It was not the strength of his limbs that made him formidable. It was the strength of his mind, his determination, and his refusal to surrender. For a moment, they simply stood there, two warriors from different worlds, separated by biology yet united in the art of combat. The canyon seemed to breathe around them, the sands whispering of battles fought and lessons learned. "I should report your death," Lyra said finally, her voice quieter than before. "You could," he said, "but I think you will not." She considered this, weighing duty against what she had learned. The Vrylan code was clear. Complete the mission or face dishonor. Yet here was a human who had faced her and survived, not through luck, but through courage and intelligence. Could she dishonor herself by killing such a being? "No," she said at last. "I will not report it. Not today." His expression softened, a faint smile tugging at the corner of his mouth. "Then perhaps we both have learned something today." "Yes," she admitted. "I have learned not to underestimate humans. And I have learned that even the strongest warrior can be surprised." He said, The twin suns dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of gold and crimson. Lyra and the human stood together, no longer as predator and prey, but as equals bound by the understanding that true strength was more than muscle, more than claws, more than weapons. "You will survive this encounter," she said, "and others may not. I know," he replied, "but I will face them as I faced you. I will learn. I will adapt. I will endure." Lyra nodded, her mandibles clicking softly in a sound that carried respect. She turned toward the plateau from which she had come, feeling an unfamiliar sense of curiosity about the human world. Perhaps there was more to these fragile beings than her people had ever understood. "Perhaps we will meet again," she said over her shoulder. "I hope so," he replied, and for the first time she felt a flicker of something strange in ocean, of camaraderie with a being from a species she had always considered weak. As the desert night settled, the human began walking toward a distant ridge, leaving behind no trace except the lessons he had imparted. Lyra watched him go, a strange warmth in her chest. The encounter had changed her, not just as a warrior, but as a being capable of seeing beyond her own assumptions. For the first time, she understood that power was not only measured in claws, fangs, or firepower. It was measured in courage, in intelligence, in the ability to face the unknown and survive. And in that moment, Lyra realized that the humans, with all their apparent fragility, were perhaps stronger than she had ever imagined. And somewhere deep in her heart, the alien warrior wondered if the galaxy itself was about to change, all because one human had dared to stand and fight and had astonished her completely.